Folks, we've been talking all week about the failure of Republicans and Democrats to come to a resolution and agreement on the George Floyd Justice Act. We've been breaking down for you the weird discrepancies and the frankly hypocritical positions of South Carolina Senator Tim Scott. Now, yesterday we talked on the show about how Senator Tim Scott previously agreed with withholding funds from police departments that did not make changes based upon federal law, which is a total opposite of what he said on Sunday on Face the Nation when he was criticizing Democrats for the exact same thing. Now, last night, I sent a text message to Senator Tim Scott asking him specifically about the contradiction. He's yet to respond. I sent an email to his staff, who yesterday sent me several emails regarding his position, specifically asking them about his prior position and his own deputy chief of staff telling Michael Harriott of the Root why they were doing it. I've gotten no response from his Senate staff. How does the George Floyd family feel? Philonise Floyd is his brother. He joins us live right now from my home city, Houston, Texas. Philonise, glad to have you back on Roland Martin Unfiltered. Just share with us your feeling right now with the fact that when y'all were in D.C. in May for the 1-year anniversary of the death of your brother, y'all came and sat with me on Black Lives Matter Plaza in D.C.
Yes,
the only interview y'all did that day. After you came from Capitol Hill, after you met with Senator Tim Scott, Senator Cory Booker, Senator Lindsey Graham, and others, well, they promised you they were going to get this done. Just share with our audience your reaction to hearing Senator Tim Scott say the Democrats want to defund the police, and that's why we can't move forward.
Every time I spoke with them, I never said anything about defunding the police. You need police because you have bad people. The problem is with police, you shouldn't have to sort them out. Everybody should be equal and be good and do their job the right way. The problems that we are having, we're not having them because of them defunding the police. The police are free to roam and do what they want to do, but they're killing innocent black African-American people who I love, people of color, period. My brother passed, but he didn't. He died because he was murdered. The man stayed on his neck for 9 minutes and 29 seconds. Hell, I was a truck driver, Mr. Roland. The day my brother died, I could have hit rock bottom, but I didn't. I chose to get up and help these families because I was in the fight. Because when you lose someone that you love so much, it can change your entire life. And that's the reason I get up every day and I tell myself, I'm going to speak. But speaking to Timothy Eugene Scott, speaking to Lindsey Graham, multiple times, and I have sat there and watched these people lie to me in my face. Not just me, you had other families in there. You had Bolton John, you had Terrence Crutcher, you had Eric Garner. These are moms and sisters. I'm a brother. But the fact that you had moms in there and you lied to somebody's mom who lost their child, that's very painful. And Gianna was in there, too. They lied to Gianna. She's a child. You shouldn't lie to kids. You don't have to. She didn't ask for her dad to be murdered. He was murdered by the police, and as that is your job to make sure you put laws in place intact to help other individuals be able to live and be free and have freedom. We don't have freedom. I don't care what people say. My brother, he walked to the store. That was a problem. He was murdered. You got Ahmaud Arbery. He ran down the street jogging. He was lynched. You have Botham Jean. He was in the comfort of his own home eating ice cream and was murdered by a police officer because she came into the wrong house. Not only that, you have Breonna Taylor. She was murdered off a no-knock warrant, and she was killed, and she still don't even know she did because she was asleep. This is not a mistake. These are patterns. And Timothy Eugene Scott, you need to wake up. Lindsey Graham, you the one that said you was going to get this bill passed. You told us that. And we all sat there and believed because we can't make you do anything. All we know is you all can make laws for the elite and the chosen, but we want you to make laws for the people with no voices. And I'm one of the people that's going to stand up for these people. And I know, Mr. Roland, you've been doing it for a long time, and I've been watching a lot of your shows. But the fact that I agree that we will have to fight, and we'll have to do it all over. The fact that my ancestors, they have passed away countless times, all for over 400 years, and all they wanted to do was just be free and live their life the way they should have been able to live countless times. I look up every day and I think about them being bitten, trying to vote, trying to think that, okay, if I vote, I can put the right president in and I can get things accomplished. You know, we believed in Biden's administration. And when I can tell you all we asking for the same thing we've been asking for over 400 years, we just want to be treated fairly. That's all we want. And for me to sit there,
you mentioned believing in the Biden administration. You mentioned believing in the Biden administration. What do you want President Biden to do right now?
I want him to call down to Eugene Scott and Lindsey Graham, everybody, because Sheila Jackson Lee, the Energizer Bunny, she's been running herself rapidly and crazy in circles trying to get things accomplished. You have Karen Bass, you have Pelosi. All of these people, they're looking because they know what's going on. The problem is with Eugene Scott and with Lindsey Graham and probably more Republicans, because we don't want to defund the police. We want the police to respect us as human beings. We just want to be treated fairly. The things with Biden, you know, I know he's looking at everything right now, but hey, we need your help. We need the vice president's help. We need anybody who can make an executive decision right now to pass this George Floyd Policing Act, because people are dying at a rate. I was in Minnesota, and I'm there for my brother at a case in court, and all of a sudden, Dante Wright has been murdered. And I went out and spoke about him. The problem is, it happened in Minnesota again, 5 minutes away from where I was speaking and trying to get my brother's life on track because he was murdered. You know, we don't want a watered down bill. We want the George Floyd Policing Act passed, just like it is. We want to end qualified immunity. We want to end a lot of different things. The no-knock warrants, we don't need to have that. The no chokeholds, we don't need that. We need you all to have the police officers to have you all's dash cams on at all time, your body cams on at all time, because it's a problem if you don't. Because it takes 20 to 30 seconds for it to come back on. And if you have something to hide, that's what I'm looking to find out. What are you doing behind closed doors? What kind of skeletons do you have? That's what I need to know, Mr. Roland.
Questions for Raja Muhammad first for Philonise Floyd.
Brother Philonise, thank you so much for joining us. First and foremost, my heart and prayers continue to go out to you and your family in this time. You know, as I'm listening to you, brother, I'm just so disturbed, and it's really unfortunate that you have to come on here and you have to be an advocate, that you gotta continue to you know, push people to do the simple right thing, and it's sad. And you know, I guess I don't have any questions, just because my heart is just broken, because I'm hearing you and I'm reading some of our watchers on Facebook. One of our watchers said you should run for public office, because at this point it's hard to have a belief in anything in the government just because there has been so many lies that have been told to our people about ensuring some level of justice. So I'm just wondering, dear brother, what can the people do, the community, black folks and that are listening and black folks across the country? Your brother's death galvanized a movement like we haven't seen. And I don't think it was just about him. It started with him, but it was really about the larger issue. So what can we do to help you, dear brother? How can we be of a service and assistance? Do we, I'm not even sure if we can get the bill back on the agenda at this point, but what do we need to do on the state level, city level to help you and your family, most importantly, helping the families of so many other folks that you have come across that have been victimized by police officers?
First thing first, we can never give up hope. We always got to be able to work together because we're stronger in numbers. I say that all the time. The fact that we are, sir?
No, I was just agreeing with you, dear brother. I said, yes, sir. Yes, sir.
The fact that people got out and marched during COVID, when it was a pandemic, people were losing their lives, going home to tables with empty chairs, and they still got out and marched. They didn't fear COVID. What they feared were police officers out there murdering people. And it wasn't just African-American people out there marching. You had Caucasian people out there marching, people who went to school with African-American people, people who played with us, people who grew up with us. You are not taught to be racist. You become racist because of who in your family. Because outside of that, people don't teach you that. People just tell you to go out and have fun. So I want everybody that's with us, just period. This is a movement, and we need to stick to it because right now they're sweeping it under the rug, and whatever we have to do to get out there and be team players. And when I say team players, get out there and get to marching and protesting. We got to do it peacefully because right now, if you do anything wrong, they'll find a reason to kill you. And I want you always to remember this. If they can make federal laws to protect a bird, which is the bald eagle, they can make federal laws to protect people of color. And the thing that I never understood was how if you can see a black person killed, nobody says anything. But you see a white person killed, and there's an outrage. It's time for a change, and it's up to us as brothers and sisters. Dr. King said a long time ago, he had a dream that people all around the world would join hands together, and we close to doing that because the world has got behind George Floyd. The world has got behind this movement, and they're pushing behind Breonna Taylor, Ahmaud Arbery, Pamela Turner. I can keep naming them. It's so many of them. Anthony McClain. And this is a sad situation that we have to fight for what we're fighting for. And we have to feel like we're second-class citizens because they're making laws for Asians and everybody else except people of color.
Michael.
Hey, Brother Philonise, thanks for coming on today and sharing this information with us. And
yes, sir.
I'm just, my heart goes out to you and your family, and you all keep persevering as well. Yes, so I see that also. Yesterday, the New York Times had a huge story that talked about more than half of police killings are mislabeled. And they looked at they're looking at a 40-year period of time from 1980 to 2018. And about 55% of fatal encounters with police officers have been mislabeled. They have not properly been counted. So we're looking at about an undercount of about 17,000 people who have been killed by police from 1980 to 2018. With information like this just came out yesterday. With information like this, one, do you think this will help be able to push through the George Floyd Justice and Policing Act? Because one of the things that it will do is require accurate reporting when it comes to police fatalities. And two, there's some talk about a carve out to the filibuster rule to be able to get this pushed through the Senate. about 51 votes, 50 Democrats and Vice President Kamala Harris being the tiebreaker. What are your thoughts on this and trying to get this pushed through through a carve-out to the filibuster? Because we're not going to get any help from Republicans on this. They've just been stalling.
My thoughts is we gotta build. We gotta build, and we have to continue, just like you said, what you read in the Times. We have to continue to gather that information and just apply it to people who need to hear it constantly. Because the problem is not us. It's clearly everybody else. Because we're not the one killing people. We are the ones being murdered. So for us to have the problems that we're having now, I pretty much think that we need to, not only us, anybody else who wants to relay the message, just like what you just said, we can. I'll even speak to them when I have the opportunity to, because right now, evidently you can see what's going on. Nobody wants to speak to me now because I'm in an outrage. And the fact that, I understand, but the problem that I'm going with now, it's not about how much. The problem is basically it's like change doesn't come without cost, and it's basically how much are you willing to lose to win the fight? That's it. We're not going to war, but we're not laying down either. So I stand with you, brother. And all the information that you're telling me, I'm gonna use it, and I'm gonna make sure they understand that these are facts. This is not fiction. Facts. Right. You can't take away facts, just like you couldn't take away that video of our brother.
Thank you.
Philonise, last question for you. I said earlier this week that I believe that the George Floyd family, the Breonna Taylor family, others' family, they should announce that they are coming to Washington, D.C., that they are demanding that Senator Tim Scott, Senator Lindsey Graham, Senator Mitch McConnell, Senator Chuck Schumer, Senator Cory Booker, Senator Dick Durbin sit at the table to meet with them and look them in the eye and say, why have y'all failed? Is that something that y'all are considering, literally making that demand and say, we are going to come to Capitol Hill and we want that meeting and see who shows up?
I'm willing to do it. I'm willing to do it because it's not just my brother's life that has been taken away. You have millions and billions of people living in this world where they are killing innocent people. I'm talking about police brutality on innocent people. I will go. Just give me the time and the place. I will be there because somebody has to speak out. Somebody has to let them know that, hey, I'm still here. You're not finna just grab pliers and twist my teeth and make it hard for me to live. No, I'm here. I'm here to stay. I want to be able to make sure my kids be able to live in this world without telling them, hey, make sure when the police pull you over, make sure you have all the windows down, for they won't be able to say, hey, I thought somebody was in the back seat, that's why I started shooting. No, I don't hate police. I think police are good people. But the fact that I have to get up out of my bed every day and tell people what reality is, this here is a big mess. And we're not sleeping. We're wide awake. We can get to Capitol Hill, Mr. Roland. We can do that. I'll be with them if they want to. I'm here for them.
Y'all let me know when you do that, and we'll be there to live stream y'all walking up the steps on Capitol Hill to that meeting. And so I think they have to be challenged directly. And yes, President Biden has to be challenged directly to actually do more as well. Because, frankly, the White House has been silent this week on the collapse of these talks, and it's time for them to step the hell up. Philonise Floyd, I always appreciate having you on the show, brother. Thanks a lot.
Thank you so much.
It's time to be smart.
Roland Martin's doing this every day.
Oh, no punches!
Thank you, Roland Martin, for always giving voice to the issues.
Look for Roland Martin in the whirlwind, to quote Marcus Garvey again.
The video looks phenomenal, so I'm really excited to see it on my big screen.
Support this man, Black media. He makes sure that our stories are told.
See, this difference between Black Star Network and Black-owned media and something like CNN.
I got to defer to the brilliance of Dr. Carr and to the brilliance of the Black Star Network.
I am rolling with Roland all the way.
Honored to be on a show that you own. A black man owns the show.
Folks, Black Star Network is here.
I'm real revolutionary right now. Roland was amazing on there.
Stay black. I love y'all.
I can't commend you enough about this platform that you've created for us to be able to share who we are, what we're doing in the world, and the impact that we're having.
Let's be smart. Bring your eyeballs home.
You can't be black-owned media and be scared. You dig?